What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Real Highlights podcast. Make sure to subscribe right now on all platforms. We're testing something out. We're testing something new out. I started making thumbnails. So on YouTube, you'll see the background as the thumbnail instead of just the image that says Real Highlights podcast. I think it looks better, and it's something
very
more
smart
enjoyable.
idea.
Yeah, something more enjoyable to look at. But anyways, the title of this video is How the Cowboys Suck, pretty much. And, they suck a lot, imagine living in Texas and choosing the Cowboys over Texans. I mean, Henry, you live in Texas.
Yeah, and I'm a Texas fan. The rest of my family is Cowboys fan. But I myself,
Oh, really? They are?
my dad and
Depressing.
brother are Cowboys fans.
Depressing.
Then my mom is a Vikings fan.
Yeah, I mean, you're still Vikings, but
Vikings first,
Vikings
Texans
first,
second.
Texans second, kind of like the Wolves. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be fine if
Wolves
you chose
and Mavericks.
Dallas. Yeah. Yeah, but like Jerry Jones, like how dumb is this guy, right?
Very.
Very he's in like an owner. He's like a billionaire who was like, "Yo, I'm gonna take over this football team because I've always wanted to be a GM, but no one's wanted to hire me because of how bad I am at it." That's basically what it is, right?
Yeah.
So tell me why you won't pay this quarterback. This guy named Dak Prescott, great quarterback, right? He had like you can argue he had an MVP season his rookie year, right?
Yeah.
He played great his rookie year, and so did his running back. But would you rather pay your running back? Like, would you rather have a franchise running back or franchise quarterback?
Franchise.
For even better comparison, as a Vikings fan, would you rather have had Adrian Peterson or Aaron Rodgers?
Adrian Peterson. Just kidding, Aaron Rodgers.
Like, you want to say Adrian Peterson, but imagine how good the Vikings would be if we just had a really good quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback on our team.
Yeah.
We'd be amazing. And AP was great. I think he had an MVP and he was a carry. But like the running back, it's hard for a running back to carry a team.
Yeah, it is. So they're not everywhere,
Yeah, I mean, you can hand the ball off to him every time. It's kind of what Dalvin Cook's doing to the Vikings.
Yeah.
The Vikings can't make the playoffs because we lost to the Cowboys. We suck even more. We can talk about that too.
Yeah.
Like, just the horrible signings that Jerry Jones has made. So he pays Amari Cooper and Ezekiel Elliott, but you won't pay Dak Prescott. What if you would have paid Dak Prescott and gave him the contract what he wanted, right? What if you would have gave him that money? Because he's playing like he's playing for his contract basically this year. So, and it's not like he tore his Achilles or he tore his meniscus. Like, he didn't get a wear and tear injury, right? He had that horrible bone injury his bone came out of his leg. Horrible. So what if he's not playing for his contract? What if he doesn't make that play run into the defenders, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, why would you fire like Garrett, their coach? Like, McCarthy's doing horrible compared to Garrett. The fact that Garrett made that team 8-8 is kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, they weren't very good with Garrett, but now they're even worse with McCarthy.
Yeah, and I think it's great to see Mike McCarthy fail, considering he was the Packers head coach. Great. Yeah, it's great. Gotta love Mike McCarthy failing on the Cowboys. And so how can the Cowboys fix this? Well, it's harder to fix it now, but right now it's like, because there's always going to be good running backs, right? Like, quarterbacks are harder to find, a franchise quarterback, but you can always get a good running back. What if you just traded Ezekiel Elliott? I mean, they should have.
I wonder if they could get for him.
Yeah, like, I don't even know if they can get. I mean, they should have just let Amari Cooper walk or not pay him that much. Also, because they have C.D. Lamb and they is it Galloway? What is his name? Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's Galloway.
Yeah, they have all these guys
too.
Yeah. But yeah, I think step one, if you can go retrospect, go back in time, you pay Dak Prescott what he wants. Okay. You don't pay Ezekiel Elliott $90 million. I also don't think you pay Amari Cooper that money. I think you save that money and try and get someone else.
Yeah.
But that's really like all we have to talk about the Cowboys. We just went on a little rant about it. Oh, I mean, I guess we can talk about their game today. How bad that was. The fact that they got destroyed on Thanksgiving by the Washington football team.
By a team with no name.
No name.
Oh my God.
No name. They couldn't come up with a name. They live in Washington. Be the governors. The
and
senators,
I think they gave up like 21 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. They lost like 40-16. And they ran a fake punt on their own 20-yard line, and then didn't even throw it. The dude just ran into the defenders. Like how bad are you? Like, it makes no sense. No sense at all. I mean, we can go in depth about how bad that football game was, but I think we'll hold out a little bit and stop disrespecting. But if something comes to me, I will say it. God, I got a cough. You think I got corona? Would be tragic. But anyways, let's move on to NBA free agency.
Most likely.
Yeah. I mean, NBA free agency. So, most fun. The first episode we did on free agency did amazing, and the second one. I wasn't expecting the second one to do great, to be honest. We didn't really have enthusiasm in that one. That one wasn't great.
Didn't have the passion.
Yeah. It just wasn't great. I mean, 2 views on YouTube, 9 on everything else, compared to I think it was like 14 and 14. Like, pretty crazy. Like, it was great. I hope this one does good too, but I don't know. We now have 172 plays on everything, and this is only counting like the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 episodes. That's not counting the other 14. So, yeah. But anyways, who won NBA free agency? Who do you think won NBA free agency?
The Lakers or the Hawks?
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. I think it's the Lakers overall, because the fact that they just won a championship, in theory, you just won a championship. Let's just keep the same team together. And the fact that they made the championship team better is crazy to me. Yeah. Like, in theory, having Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell, Marc Gasol, and KCP on a team together, you're looking at, wow, if you just had, maybe one more scorer, maybe be a low playoff team in the East, maybe even make it in the West, but you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis on that team.
Yeah.
It's almost like that previous Clippers team, but with less crazy people. Like, no disrespect to Pat Bev, but I feel like I like Dennis Schroeder. I think Dennis is a little better offensively. And then Dennis Schroeder is a really good defender too. So I don't know. I just can't believe it. I think the biggest shock for me was the Lakers got Montrezl Harrell. I mean, you could see our live reactions. We were recording the pod while that happened, and we were like, "What the heck?" Like, Montrezl Harrell? Did they stole him from the Clippers? He switches locker rooms. That's crazy to me. I wonder how Staples Center works. Do you think they have 3 locker rooms? One for the Clippers, one for the Lakers, and one for the guest team?
Maybe. Well, I think maybe one just uses the Clippers.
Or Lakers.
Yeah. Lakers.
But at the same time, they got so much money. We're like, why not?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, going to the Hawks. I mean, they got Bogdan Bogdanovic. They got Danilo Gallinari. They got Rondo. They got Chris Dunn. They drafted Onyeka Okongwu. Great draft pick. I think, they could. I mean, he was a great pick.
Obi Toppin there. But yeah,
Obi Toppin's a horrible defender, though. You have to keep that in mind.
True. Onyeka Okongwu is.
He's a good defender, good center, can score, athletic. I don't know about his jumper. Let me search it up. But excuse my cough. Yeah, he's a great player. Let's see his stats. Let's go on sports reference. So he didn't. He took no 3-pointers. Okay. Yeah. So he can't shoot well, but he's gonna be backing up Capella for the next 3 years. Maybe they don't re-sign Capella. Now he's a starter, going into the final year of the rookie deal, trying to prove something.
Yeah.
I think Dallas did really good too. I'm gonna be honest. I think Dallas. So they traded Steph Curry away, but they got Josh Richardson back, who's a really good, who's like a pretty good defender, and can still shoot. Not as good as Steph Curry, but Dallas doesn't need as much offense. You know, they need some defense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was a pretty good pickup. I think they made some other moves too. Yeah, they already have their offense from Luka. And you have to think about, so Rick Carlisle, great coach, probably one of the best coaches in the league, probably best offensive coach in the league. The only guy I think you can argue better offensively is D'Antoni. But D'Antoni's stuff isn't super consistent like Carlisle's is. And D'Antoni's never won a ring.
True.
And Carlisle has. But, so Tim Hardaway came to Dallas. He's shooting about 29% from 3. Rick Carlisle made a tweak to his jumper, and Tim Hardaway started shooting 40% from 3. Just that little tweak.
Amazing.
Yeah, crazy. So, you know, Rick Carlisle might make that little tweak to Josh Richardson's, and here he comes, you know. Not to mention how good of draft picks Josh Richardson made how good of draft picks Dallas made in the draft. They got Tyrell Terry. They got that other shooter. Yeah, they did really good too. I think Boston kind of finessed. They got Tatum on that deal. Great deal. They also drafted the 2 shooters. I forgot his name, but Naismith. I think it was Aaron Naismith. Steele. Great pick. And they got the dude from Oregon, who I thought was a really good pick as well.
Oh yeah, and I know what you're talking about. Peyton Pritchard, I think.
Yeah, Peyton Pritchard. So
Yeah,
I mean, who did bad in free agency? Was there a team that stood out to you? It was like, wow, what are they doing? Because I even thought the Knicks did pretty well. I'm going to be honest. I thought they did.
Well, really, I just think I'm just baffled that the Clippers would try and re-sign Harrell.
Yeah, to be fair to the Clippers, they did get Serge, who I think is a better player.
Yeah,
but
the
fact they couldn't bring back Harrell to come off the bench.
Very good coming off the bench, yeah.
Yeah. And the Lakers, like, they matched Ibaka with Marc Gasol.
Yeah.
Same sort of player. And then they took Harrell from the Clippers. Like, yeah. I do trust the Clippers front office. They're geniuses. They got Jerry West. They got all these guys. So I think they'll make the right decisions and come back. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, the Clippers, they probably had an average free agency. They lost a player, added a player. Nothing super crazy.
Well, besides that, I don't really think any other team.
I'm trying to think of a team that did literally nothing. I guess the Magic.
Magic.
What did the Magic do?
I think they lost DJ Augustine.
Oh yeah, so they lost their starting point or 6-man point guard to the Bucks. Anything else? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think the Kings did very well. They gave De'Aaron Fox a max, which I thought was a good deal. He's been only improving throughout his career. And he's only been majorly improving too, like field goal percentage wise and points wise. He did go down in 3-pointers, his 3-point percentage, but he was taking a bigger clip of them in different ways too. And they lost Bogdanovich, and they replaced Bogdanovich with Hassan Whiteside. So I don't even know. They're not a great handle organization. And Luke Walton's their coach. And I think Luke Walton's a good coach, but like,
no,
at the same time, yeah, but he coached the Warriors for a bit when Steve Kerr had, I think he messed up his back. Like, you remember when the Warriors in 73-9? He was the coach when the Warriors were like 50-1, 50-2.
Oh,
Yeah, so he took over as head coach. So I think he'd be better. I think he's a good coach, but I do think he needs some tweaking to how he coaches, because he seems to be bad for young players. From what I've noticed, young players play great when he's not
maybe
there.
he's good with veterans. Yeah.
Yeah. So if he can get that working good, or if he can I think it'd be great for him if he became an assistant coach to Stan Van Gundy in New Orleans. He could
Oh, yeah.
really learn a lot from that. But I
Learn
mean,
how to
yeah,
coach the newer players.
yeah. I mean, but who knows? Maybe he's a great coach, and he just hasn't shown it yet, and he's gonna be the best coach in the NBA next year.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Next thing, NCAA basketball. A lot of guys made their debut. I think the dude who stood out the most, who made his debut, was Jalen Suggs from Minnesota.
Yeah.
24 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds, a few steals in 24
On
minutes
Gonzaga
for
against
Gonzaga
Kansas.
against Kansas. I think some of the other
Number
guys,
6 ranked team.
yeah, I think some of the other guys, they had good debuts and everything. Like Brandon Boston, who Jalen Suggs beat in high school, and I was at that game. But he had a good
Yeah,
debut. He
Cade
had 15
Cunningham,
points, 7
too.
rebounds.
The light.
But that was against like some unknown team. Like I've heard of them, but like they're not ranked.
Yeah, Cade Cunningham played some unknown team too.
Yeah, I think he had a good game. Let me get these box scores so we know who's so let's see. Wednesday. Who did Cade Cunningham, who does he God.
He plays for Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. Are they not top 25? What division is
Might
that?
not be ranked. Big 12.
Big 12? Let's see. Oklahoma State, yeah, they're not ranked. They played Arlington, Utah. Cade Cunningham had 21 points, 7 for 16, 21-10. But Jalen had a much better game than that. It was better shooting in less minutes. I don't know.
Yeah, in 24 minutes.
Yeah, I think he had the best debut overall. Who's on? Yeah, let's look at these because Mac McClung played great for Texas Tech. He had 20 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound, 6 for 9 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3-pointers after leaving Georgetown. Georgetown seems to be like a bad place to go play basketball. Like, it doesn't look good. I feel like players go there, good players, and they just don't play good.
Yeah.
And then in Mac McClung's case, transfers to Texas Tech, and now is great.
Yeah, he did do good for Texas Tech, though.
I think Texas Tech has a way of making players good, though. Because Jarrett Culver was great for them. I mean, he was the best player on that team that went to the NCAA championship. Carried them, really.
Yeah, and then he just underperformed.
To be fair, he did pretty good for us last year.
His rookie season.
It was an average rookie season. He didn't have a Towns rookie season or a Wiggins rookie season. I'd say he played average I'd say I wasn't expecting him to be a superstar. I'd say if you weren't expecting him to be a superstar, I mean, he played pretty average, to be honest. The average rookie who's good, not great, not Luka. Yeah. Do you have anything you want to go over?
The Texans completely destroyed the Lions, and Will Fuller had 2 touchdowns.
180 yards.
Deshaun Watson did good. Yeah, I benched him. I benched him, I think, or I might have dropped him. I don't know. Deshaun Watson had 4 touchdowns, 318 yards.
I have Deshaun
Duke
Watson
Johnson
on my fantasy team.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's really good.
Bench him.
You did?
I got Eckler and Josh Allen. Dalvin Cook trade finally went through.
Oh, with Trevor?
Yeah. I gave him Taysom Hill, too.
You did?
Yeah. What about Texas in basketball? I think they played
I think they did play.
UT Rio Grande.
search it up. Yeah, they played Texas Rio Grande Valley something. They're 2-0. They're ranked 19.
I think they have a good coach.
Yeah, I think they always do have a good coach.
Yeah. Is there any MLB news that you want to go over? Anything like when does MLB free agency start? Because we can cover that.
I'll search it up right now.
It sucks that Mike Trout signed that 10-year deal instead of coming to the Twins, but whatever.
Oh, MLB free agency started November 1st.
Yeah, we tweaking out. What we doing? It's
I
November 26th.
never heard of it.
Who signed of who? No, it couldn't have because the World Series is going on then, wasn't it? No,
I
it
think it ended.
It ended
in October.
Search up when the World Series ended.
So, I don't think there has been any like big signings so far in the free agency. They did release all the awards, but I don't know. I just don't see any big free agency moves. I don't see any actually. There's been a couple re-signings like Kevin Pillar, Cesar Hernandez, Blake Trinan, like no big people moving around. The 2021 Hall of Fame ballot was released, and the people who made it were Caught Schilling, Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, Omar Vizquel, Scott Rowland, Billy Wagner, Gary Sheffield, Todd Helton, Manny Ramirez, Jeff Kent, Andrew Jones, Sammy Sosa, Andy Pettit, and Bobby Abreu. So yeah, that's a pretty good class. All-time greats like Bonds, Clemens, Ramirez. Was there anybody? Torrey Hunter. Oh, he didn't make it yet. And I think that's it. Make sure to subscribe. Podcast goes out every Tuesday and Friday at 8 a.m. And make sure to subscribe, and we're gonna end it here.